protein bars, and a lot of us eat them for different reasons. Some for meal replacement, me just for a snack. And I do eat protein bars several times a week. So today I have 10 different protein bars, some I've tried before and some brand new. I'm gonna do my rating system on a 1 to 5 scale. 1, one and done. You are not invited back. And number 5, I think I'm gonna invite you on my next holiday. I wanna start first off with the Built Bar. I've got to say, the Built Bar, I have a hard time even figuring out how this can have such low macros. It's astounding. And the salted caramel, 130 calories, really unbelievable, 17 grams of protein. So this has a very, very different texture than anything else that I've ever tried. It tastes almost like Turkish Delight. I don't know if you remember those old Big Turk bars. They were like red on the inside with this chocolate thing on the outside. Very chewy, almost a bit like a gummy bear. Not unpleasant, but very chewy. But it's actually quite good. It's actually quite good. I'm gonna say this is a really solid 3.5, because I would go back to this just based on the macros. 130 calories, 17 grams. It is very tasty. Texture is different, but not unpleasant. Okay, so let's move on. So I'm gonna try the grenade bar. So I've got 23 grams of protein, I got 220 calories, 8 grams of fat, 7 grams of fiber, which sounds pretty good, and 2 grams of sugar. So here we go on this. Different texture, I kind of like it. It looks different on the inside, kind of more like cookie on the inside. Oh. You know what? Has a nice crunch, a bit Twixy, and I'm here for this. I have never tried this bar before, but this is really good. You know what? You might be going to my carry-on. Okay, so I'm actually really liking this. So let's say 4.5 on this one. I really like it. I could up you a little bit later, but you're early in the running. Okay. I'm gonna move on now to the Pure Protein Bar, and these are really popular, and I have to say, I already buy these by the case. Price-wise, you can't beat them. And you have to consider that Will often comes over, he comes in the back door, picks them up, and by the time he even gets to the kitchen, gone. He can just grab these and scarf them back like, you know, like he does with donuts. So this one is a newer variety. It is the lemon one. Now these ones are in 50 gram bars, 20 to 21 grams of protein, depending upon which flavor that you take. But also really fresh tasting. Like it tastes like real lemon. Texture, nice. You could have this for dessert and not feeling like you're missing out, and actually feeling like you did a good thing. I really do like the Pure Protein, and I'm gonna give that a 4. Okay, moving on to the Builders Protein. I always see these at Costco, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I would never buy this bar.
Never say never.
Never. I meet people in the aisle, they're looking at them and they start saying to me, have I ever tried these? And I'm like, don't take this one. It is a big bar, the biggest bar that I've got today. 68 grams, 20 grams of protein, 290 calories, 11 grams of fat, and listen to this, a whopping 17 grams of sugar. That is a lot. Now it does look kind of crunchy and cripply and kind of nice. Oh, no, 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 no. That is one and done. You're not invited back to the Tennysons. Goodbye. Now we'll go on to the Kirkland brand. The one thing about this type of bar that's not my favorite, I prefer having a coated bar. I don't like this slab effect. I don't like, it's kind of like going on a date with somebody on the first date and they come naked.
Hey. Hey.
That is not a good look. I don't like that at all. Like, you know what? there needs to be a little bit of mystery. Like, you do not want to walk down the street and, oh, I don't know. So this is already a bit sticky, kind of unattractive, should be shrouded in a bit of chocolate, in my opinion. So very much cookie dough, as the flavor describes. And, oh, it does give you a bit of a head rush. It is quite sweet. But I have to say that the big chunks of chocolate really save it. 220 calories. I mean, you can't beat that. 220 calories, 21 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat. And it's not bad. It's not my favorite. So I'm going to give this about a 2.5. Now I'm going to move on to the one bar. Okay, so here's the 1 bar peanut butter cup, a 60 gram bar, 20 grams of protein. Does look very Reese's-y. 230 calories, 9 grams of fat, a little bit higher in the fat, 8 grams of fiber, it's good, and really, really low on the sugar, only 1 gram of sugar. So, oh, it's a bit dense. Just, if you have loose fillings, I really don't know about this one. It's feeling just a little bit not good. I feel like Justin Bieber. I'm gonna say, my mama don't like you, and she likes everyone. Do not like it. That's gonna be a 1.5. Let's move on now to the Simply Protein. And this one, I don't know what happened here. They had to change their macros around because they always used to say 15 grams of protein. Now they're only 12 grams of protein, but yet nothing else seemingly changed. Now, this one is like the kind of Rice Krispie variety. And I always kind of like having these, like just with my tea. They kind of go well with tea. And they're not very satisfying. It's like if you're really not that hungry, they go fast. The bars are only 40 grams, so that is on the small side. And I have to say, I used to like these a lot more than I like now. And I'm gonna put these down to about a 2.5 because they're really not very satisfying. So we're just gonna move on from those. Now, here we go with the Quest. Only 190 calories out of 60 grams, so that's pretty good. And 21 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat, and a whopping 14 grams of fiber, okay? So here we are. So first of all, I don't know. I'm not really liking the look of it. It's kind of hard to cut. So let's see how it's gonna do on the chew factor. No, that is horrible. Okay, you know what? Just because I think that was maybe not nice of me. This is the s'mores. Not bad, not as bad, not bad in a good way compared to this, which I really don't like. This was okay, and I would give this, you know, probably 3.5, but your birthday cake cousin, that's gonna be like a 1.5. So if we kind of give them the average, the Quest average, 2.5. Okay, so here we go now. This is a little bit exciting because I found out that this CICO bar is Coach Greg's bar.
I can't wait till you try it.
And the interesting thing, though, that I really want to bring up about this is all the previous bars that I've tried, the #1 ingredient is protein. But on this bar, the #1 ingredient is, let me see if I can say this correctly, isomaltol, no, hold on a second. I had it so perfect.
Isomaltol-oligosaccharide.
Isomaltuliosaccharide, which is definitely a mouthful. Anyway, let's give, this is very different looking from all of the rest. It is 21 grams of protein and 200 calories, 6 grams of fat, and 11 grams of fiber, which is really good. I'm gonna push harder than last time here. Very different texture. Has these nice Rice Krispie style little flecks in it that I very much like. with 11 grams of fiber, I feel like this would really fill me up. And that's the interesting thing about that first ingredient. That first ingredient, when I looked it up, it's called an IMO in short, which is much easier to say. And the main plus factor of that is it sort of digests very slowly, which we all like because it keeps us feeling full longer. I would definitely buy this again. And I'm going to say this is a good 4.5 also. Now, this last bar that I have, this is called a Warrior Crunch. 64 grams. It's 20 grams of protein, 239 calories. This one actually has a product warning on it that says that excessive consumption may cause a laxative effect. So it is big, quite big. Kind of looks like the old O. Henry bar. 2.3 grams of sugar, they say, well, because there's so much fake sugar in here. I'm just gonna say, I don't even really want to try this one. I'm really so nervous about it. Oh my God, this is an assault of sweetness. And as I keep telling my kids, I'm sweet enough. I just don't know. That is very cloyingly sweet. You are one, I'm done. That is definitely not getting a repeat performance. So after much deliberation, I'm gonna have to bump up the grenade to the 5. I'm gonna leave my CICO at a 4.5, just because I think you saw my reaction. Like, this really kind of knocked my socks off, and I had never had it before, and it was just edged it out that much. So both amazing bars, but I'm gonna give my number 1, I'm gonna say grenade. Last and certainly least, and I'll have to say this one was more for me least on because of the macros. 17 grams of sugar, I'm not forgiving them for that. So this one only if you were out somewhere and you were starving and you found this underneath the front seat of your car, scarf that back. This, I think you're gonna have a head rush, and I don't know if you're ever gonna get over it, because all of this maltitol and sorbitol and everything is going straight from your mouth to your brain, and it's not feeling good. So these are not coming back. Those are the one and dones. And that, my friends, is the Protein Bar Roundup, according to Mama Tenny. See you in the next one.